This gimbal right here, there are so many features packed into this small thing. I begin to ask myself, do I really need to get something top-notch, professional, DJI kind of level and stuff like that? And I'll let you know what I think about this gimbal in this video. So it would be good if you stay to the end, because every part of this video will be probably something you might want to know about this gimbal. In today's video, we're talking about the iSteady X gimbal. The iSteady X gimbal was a gimbal that was released a few years ago, just a little over 2 years ago, and it was tagged when it came out as the lightest gimbal in the whole world. In fact, that was what made it, very viral back then. It was so portable, so easy to carry around, so easy to use, such that it was kind of a buzz, and it made the brand, which was Hohem, that's the name of the brand. It made the brand really popular back then when it came out. In 2023, does this gimbal still stand the chance of sitting with the big boys like the DJIs, the Xenuns, and all those other professional grade kind of gimbals and stuff like that? Can this smartphone gimbal stand beside those other gimbals? And so the first thing to understand about this gimbal is that this gimbal was made to be portable, to be an in-pocket kind of device, something you can carry around and use for anything you want to use, anywhere you are, anywhere you're moving to. So this is something you can easily shove into your pocket. Just look at it. It kind of fits into the fist of my palm so easily. This is something you can just shove into your pocket, go out and do stuff with it, and you don't have any issues at all. The design of this gimbal is actually quite very interesting. It's designed in such a way that every single part has some intentionality to it. This gimbal is a three-dimensional gimbal, so it actually stabilizes video in the X plane, in the Y plane, and in the diagonal plane. So this actually works for sports, really fast-moving stuff, and really that sort of footage and videography that actually needs a lot of flexibility and a lot of action. This actually works well for it. And if you look at the design, it's designed in such a way that everything is made intentionally, like I said earlier. If you look at the arm around this place, this is not a usual arm that you find on 3-axis gimbals. Usually the arm around this point, which connects the part that your mobile phone stands on and the mechanism of the gimbal itself, this arm is usually a lot more bulky on most other gimbals, but this was actually made in such a way that it's really short, and that is very intentional because they wanted to keep this gimbal as minimal as possible. So what they did actually was that they meshed the two different aspects of this arm here. So around this place you should actually have two components, which will actually at the end of the day give some bulk to the device, but then they meshed those two parts together to make just this short arm, and that makes it very portable, and it also still kind of helps with the kind of footage you kind of get. The only disadvantage will be with the range of movement. The range of movement might not be all that fantastic, but then it still gets the majority of the range of movement you would for most of your shots. So to open up the gimbal is quite easy. All you just need to do is bring out the gimbal from its case or from its pouch, and then you unscrew the first part, which is here. After unscrewing it, you open up the gimbal, and then you screw that back right there, and then you take your smartphone or whatever device you want to use, you place it right where it's supposed to be. That's all, right? And then you ensure that you open this. There's also a lock here. There's actually various locks on this gimbal, so there's also a lock there. You open up that lock, and then you ensure that all the different parts are movable and there's no part that is locked. So once you do that, you make sure that your phone is kind of stable. You make sure that it's in the middle so that it will be well calibrated by the time you put it on. So once you're done with that, then you can click on the power button and then your device powers on. That's it. So simple. And then you're good to go with your gimbal. Very easy to use, very intuitive. And so I'll run you through the various features that this gimbal has and how you can use it, especially with the app that comes with it. An app comes with it that can help you, get creative with the kind of gimbal shots you can get, the kind of creative shots you can get. Most of the time, I actually do not use it for, I do not use the app that comes with it. The app that comes with it, really helps with getting quick shots, fast shots, without even thinking about it. It just helps your creative process basically. But then I usually want to have more fine control over the kind of things I want to do, especially with the fact that the app that comes with it that controls the gimbal doesn't have access to the telephoto camera that comes on my phone. So it only has access to the selfie camera, it has access to the ultra wide and the main camera. So I'm not able to use the telephoto camera in case I need to switch lenses while taking shots on my phone. So because of that, sometimes I just prefer to just use the stock camera app that comes on my phone, and I'm pretty much used to the stock camera on my phone, and so I think I will just continue with that. After all, the main reason why I have the gimbal is to stabilize my shots and help me to get perspective shots better. This gimbal helps me get very smooth and very transitional shots when I'm taking perspective shots. So when I'm taking video shots at angles, maybe from bottom up or from up down, and then panning from side to side. While doing that, it gives this seamless feel of the camera movement, which helps me so much while shooting videos. I shot a wedding with this video recently, a traditional wedding, and if you want to see the result of that traditional wedding, I'll put the link in the description or in the video tags just right above my head here, and you can look at how well it brings out the beauty of the video I shot at that traditional wedding. And stuff like this is what I want to basically use this gimbal for, to be able to get very buttery smooth perspective shots. My phone actually comes with stabilization, comes with electric image stabilization and optical image stabilization. So most of the shots I get on my phone are actually pretty much stabilized already. But then when it comes to shooting 4K videos, when it comes to shooting very high resolution, high frame rate videos, maybe 4K 60 FPS, the stabilization gets sometimes not really so buttery smooth like I would want it to be, especially when I want to get some very smooth pan shots. If I'm shooting 4K 60 FPS handheld on my device, it becomes difficult to get that buttery smooth feel. But then by the time I slap my gimbal on my phone and do that, it just comes out perfectly. So if you're just out there, maybe you like doing things like exploring street videography, street photography, or pretty much any kind of videography or photography, this kind of thing is very handy for you, and it's not that expensive. I got this thing for 30,000 naira when it came out. That was about 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago. But then now I think it's just about over 40,000 naira. I'll put links in the description if you want to get this device. Comparing this device to the likes of DJI, Zhiyun, and the top industry level kind of gimbals, this is super cheap, and it gives you the majority of what you get if you were getting those gimbals. So I think this is best bang for buck. There's so many features that comes packed in this device. It has face tracking, it has object tracking, you can change focus manually with physical buttons on the gimbal. The app that comes with it comes with video descriptions on how to use the device, creative shots you can do. It also has suggestions of videos online where you can get a hang of creative things that you can do while using this gimbal with your phone. So talking about the functionality of this device has just 4 main buttons. We have the joysticks, and then we have 2 buttons. We have the power button, which also doubles as the landscape portrait button. So if you click on that button, you can change from landscape to portrait mode, and click it again, it comes back to landscape mode. We also have another button on the left side, which actually is the button that is used for starting and stopping your video, basically a start stop button. And by the side we have the slider. We have a slider. This slider can be used for things like zooming. So if you select the zoom function on the application, you can, you know, zoom in, zoom out with this slider. You can also use this for changing focus, and that's quite simple, nothing too complex and all that. So easy to use, so easy to walk around. What is just left for you to do is just to know how you want to frame your shots, how you want to, you know, get creative with the movements you can get on this gimbal. And one interesting thing I like about this gimbal is that you do not have to shoot all your shots this way, like, you know, just taking your camera and then shooting all your shots this way. You can switch this device this way and at the same time shoot your video. So if you're shooting something in which you have to, you know, go down low, you don't have to, you know, start having to bend down and then, you know, have very awkward positions. You can just simply do this and then, you know, you get all the shots of what you want to do. So it's so easy to use, so, you know, easy to move around, easy to handle. The battery that comes this can serve you a whole day. I've done shots, I've done I've shot videos, and I've had this with me shooting the whole day, and I've never had to recharge while shooting on site. And then to charge this can take some time to charge. Sometimes it may take up to, you know, 4 or 5 hours to get from 0 to full charge. Yeah, about 4 hours on the average, 3-4 hours to sometimes 5 hours, depending on whether you use the whole battery or maybe just a little part of it. And for the charging, it comes with a Type-C port. And so moving on to the durability, how durable is this? I've been using this for 2 years now. I've even lent it out to people and I've never had any issues. And you know, I talked about a wedding, a traditional wedding, which I shot with my phone and this gimbal. That traditional wedding actually took place while it was raining. I mean, it was raining almost all through that wedding, and I got the shots that I got on this camera with this gimbal in the rain, and there were no issues. But that doesn't mean you should now go and be using it inside the rain. I did not send you use it when things are, everything is dry and everything. I did not send inside rain, no. And so there are even newer versions of this gimbal now. We have all sorts. We have the iSteady V2, we have the iSteady the iSteady V2, the iSteady X version 2 and X2. Most of their devices are, you know, very much affordable. I don't think you will go wrong with this one, especially if you're particularly into smartphone videography and all that. So what are the disadvantages of using this device? Now, you know, I talked about the arm, which is here, which is actually a combination of 2 separate components which were mushed into one component over here. So now this arm really gives some restrictions. So now when you're panning, when you're moving, there are some extents to which you cannot go. For example, now look at this. You know, I'm panning up and down, I'm panning up and down. You see that I can't go beyond this level and I can't go beyond this level. So if I'm shooting videos and I want my phone to, you know, curve much more beyond this level and take maybe a shot of something up, I can't go that much. And if I want it to go down and take something down, I can't go beyond this level. That means if I want to take something up, then I'll have to do this and then use my hand to follow up to get that shot. On other gimbals, you have that freedom of being able to, you know, move almost 90 degrees to get a shot, or the other way, 90 degrees to get a shot. You can't get that on this, basically because of this arm here. This arm here restricts you. But that's that. If you're concerned about that, maybe you're in a tight space where you can't do so much of hand movement and all that, this might not be the gimbal for you. The other thing may be battery. The battery may not last as long as DJIs and Zhiyun's, which are kind of heavy duty kind of stuff. The other thing is the payload of this device. This gimbal can't take too heavy phones, but the thing is that my phone, this is a Samsung Note 10 Plus. It's a large phone actually. It's very large. It's not too heavy, but it's large, and all that, and never gives any problems to the device. And so I think that's about this gimbal. And if you have questions to ask, you can ask in the comment section. I'll reply as soon as I can. And so we've come to the end of this video. Thank you for staying to the end of this video, and I hope that I was able to give you some good information about this device. See you in the next one.